Hey guys, so I had to come on and do this video, right? Um, Something serious happened today. Now, for those who don't know, I am definitely a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I did not know what that word was. I wasn't exposed to that word. I wasn't ever around anybody who would use that word, narcissistic or narcissism. So after going through a very hard, a very tough, a very complex, tough, emotional, failed relationship. The more I spoke about the things that I went through, that was when it was brought to my attention that, hey, you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Your partner was a complete narc. Anyways, I still never believed it. So, certain information was shared with me about who is a narcissistic person, what they do, how they do it, how they operate. And I was just blown away. No, I still was in denial because I was saying, no, this person is not a narcissistic person. And then I started reading about the trauma, some of the things that can happen to you after surviving, after going through, you know, such relationship. Now, I always saw myself as a strong individual. It's hard for me to say, okay, I'm going to go get counseling. I've considered it. I've felt like I've needed it before. I've shared it with a friend before saying, hey, I feel like I need to go get that counseling session together. I started and I stopped. I started again and I stopped because I felt like I didn't need it. I felt like I was getting stronger and stronger as the day goes by. I felt like I was getting spiritually healthier. I felt like I was getting, emotionally healthier, better, mentally, psychologically. And then there are days when, hey, things happen and it's as if you're living in the same space with the narc because you're doing some of the things that traumatized you in the first place, that worked you to the core in the first place, unnecessary work, that is. Now, for example, I remember this morning I was hanging my clothes out in the back of the yard, and my mom taught me very well. And there were so many things I had to unlearn. There were teachings that I had to unlearn because the narc said this was the way to do it. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is how you need to do it. I don't need you to do it any other way. And if you do, hell and powder house, right? In other term, in the better English term, it's gonna be world war. There's gonna be arguments. I'm not gonna be happy as the narc, and I'm gonna make you miserable. If you don't do it the way I want you to do it. Now, with that said, um, I was hanging the clothes out as usual. I've hung clothes out before around my mom. I don't know if she saw what she always saw, but she just didn't want to mention it or she just didn't feel like asking. But this morning she decided to ask me, you know, why do you hang your clothes upside down? Meaning from the end of the garment. Usually, growing up, I would hang it from the sleeves or from the neck, somewhere along the neck, the shoulders, but she saw that I was pinning them from the tail. So she was like, why do you do that? And I'm like, mm, this is how my ex told me to do it. And ever since he told me, this is how I've been doing it. I remember there was another time I was somewhere else in a totally, completely different space, not in Jamaica. And I was making some coffee for someone. And based on how I was mixing the coffee, the person said, that's so weird. I've never seen anybody mix coffee like that before. And I was like, what do you mean? And the person was like, it's so weird. Why don't you just turn it around, turn it around, turn it around, like in a circle? And I was like, oh, I used to do that, but my ex taught me to mix the coffee this way. This is how he wanted it. He wanted his to be mixed. This was how he told me it was a better way. Everything comes out better, dissolves better that way in the cup. And the person was like, oh, you know but then the person never said anything else. The person just went about her business. But when I sat down and I thought about the question she asked, I was like, could it be that I'm really still trapped, you know, um, it's like I'm in the living condition still, but I'm not in it. And I'm like, Jody, you need to go back to being you, you know, because it doesn't matter how you turn a spoon into a cup to mix something. Once you take your time and you're patient enough, you will still get the same results. It's crazy. But anyways, there was another situation where I found myself doing something again a particular way because that was the way my ex wanted it to be done all the time. And I remember how much I was very uncomfortable doing it that way, because even if I had done it my way, we would have still gotten the same results or even a better results. Who knows? There was nothing, absolutely nothing that I loved to do that I could love anymore. I remember also, so when I heard my mom ask me that question today, it was a question that kept replaying in my head. I went to perform today at a funeral. I came back home. I did more laundry. I started early this morning. I did some more laundry and I cooked my rice and I came to lie down on my bed and I'm like, wow, Jody, you probably need to take up that counseling thing. But I was just saying to myself, there's so many things that I still do because, my past life had me doing things that way. Why not do me? Why not do you? Do the things you love. If you want to eat something that maybe your spouse doesn't like you eating, um you really like the taste or love the taste of that thing, but you can't have that thing because your spouse or your partner says don't eat it. I don't even know what to say to you, but if I could go back and tell myself something, I would say, Jody, eat what you want to eat. I would say, Jody, mix the coffee how you want to mix the coffee. It's still going to be the same result. I would say, Jody, still pin your clothes how you pin your clothes because the sun is still going to dry it. It's not like if you turn it the other way, it's not going to get dried. And even if it's a slower process, it's still going to get dried. Um, it's crazy, guys. But I just want to say to those persons out there who are currently facing a narcissistic bully in your life, or you have been through one, you have been through a narcissistic woman, you have been through a narcissistic man, um, get the help, get the therapy, get the counseling. Um, I'm certainly gonna continue with mine because it's very important that the traumas don't travel with us when we are stepping into our new. And that's kind of what I wanted to say. Even the things, even the very things that I could I couldn't eat when I was in that relationship. I now eat them. My skin is still beautiful. I don't itch anymore. I don't get breakouts anymore. So it only meant that whatever I was going through was just stress and trauma. The very things my ex told me not to eat. If you eat this, if you eat that, if you drink this, if you drink that, they will do this, they will do that. They will affect you, they will affect you, they will affect you. These are the very same things I'm having right now, and my skin is glowing, honey. So I'm just saying, trauma is a terrible thing to go through. Love yourselves, boo boo. Love yourselves, honey. Because guess what? We have only one life to live. And you don't want to be living your life with any regrets. Wake up every day, see the sunshine, smell the fresh air, put your best outfit on, put your best self, best foot forward, pray, ask God to guide you and lead you throughout your entire journey. Eat what you love what you eat, have your friends who mean you well, and live your life. Blessings.